It's astonishing, if not downright inspiring, the number of wildflower species that grow across our great country. Every region seems to have its favorites. If you've followed me here at Moss Mountain Farm over the years, you know that a priority early on was to help encourage and conserve our native wildflowers. Some of my favorites include the tick cedar coreopsis, the black-eyed Susans, as well as the Indian blanket flowers. Once found only in meadows and fields, wildflowers can now be found in home gardens, landscape designs, and certainly along our nation's highways and roadsides. A proponent of this movement, Ladybird Johnson, spent her life dedicated to educating people about the environmental necessity of native plants, encouraging all to recognize the natural beauty of our country and bring it into our daily lives. Ladybird's good friend, philanthropist Margaret McDermott, a fellow Texan with a heart as big as her state, is continuing to lead the way. At 102 years old, Margaret's a living legend in her own right. Her generosity and commitment to land conservation and to saving these native species is just one more way her legacy continues to inspire others. Margaret, what was it about this particular place that really caught your eye and Mr. McDermott's eye?
Well, we were there in the spring so long ago, 75 years ago, and we could have had our choice of any place. The farmers were eager to sell, and they wanted to sell, and they wanted to move to the city. Well, we saw this place in the spring, 75 years ago, and the one thing that was wonderful for me was the wildflowers.
Yes.
The wonderful fields of wildflowers. And they were so beautiful in color that I got off and said, "This is it." And he said, "This is it."
Dave, what a beautiful time of year to be here in northern Texas, all these wildflowers blooming.
This is a great time. May is a beautiful time for us. Early spring wildflowers are done, but these May wildflowers really rival what we have in the early spring.
Well, I'm just seeing so much in the way of these yellow composites out here across the meadow. Looks like a type of daisy.
This is an Engelmann daisy, a really nice one, really tall, upright, really bright. You really can see it from a distance.
You sure can. It's beautiful.
Everything's just naturally occurring. There's never been a wildflower seeded here artificially. So what you see in this beautiful prairie land here are things that are naturally occurring. And this is one of the last large undeveloped pieces of land here just north of Dallas in the suburbs, a beautiful 350-acre tract that has never been developed, and it's still the natural prairie fields that you would have seen many, many years ago.
In those days, in those early days, 75 years ago, Collin County had a population of a few thousand. Now, my town of Allen has a population of many thousand.
Yes.
There's a lot of development.
It's completely surrounded the property.
Completely surrounded.
Conserving these species in the face of an ever-expanding human population is a constant challenge, and unfortunately it's believed that over 4,000 native plant species are in danger of vanishing forever. You know, really the preservation of tracts of land like this have really never been more important than they are today.
That's so true. You know, without these tracts of land, a lot of these migratory species, birds and insects, won't have a place to move, you know, north and south each year.
Right, because they have to stop along the way and feed or reproduce.
That's so true, or a place where, you know, they need water, those things that you would find in these open tracts. So,
sure.
And this tract that we're on right now is just filled with this milkweed, this naturally occurring one that grows in this part of the
I see it, yeah, so these little tufts of sort of light green flowers.
It's like basically a green flowered version of the milkweed, but so important, and they can lay their eggs so the caterpillars can feed, and then that forms the next butterfly as they keep moving south or moving north each year as they migrate. And this tract is so important. This land is going to be gifted to the city of Allen to be a part of our future bike hike trail, preserving all the field and the creek line, allowing all our hikers and bikers north of the property here, south all the way to the city of Dallas to be able to have connectivity. So it's an important part, preserving this beautiful creek, and the McDermott family has given this gift.
How marvelous.
To the folks of North Texas.
And so
It's
this
beautiful.
piece will finish off this important connection that you need from one destination to the other.
It will, part of the larger master plan for several cities and counties as we connect with bikes and hike trails. So just a wonderful, wonderful opportunity to have that happen here.
That is so progressive, and this will be a piece of land that people will be able to enjoy for generations to come.
That's right.
You've been very generous with the property from the very beginning.
Well, we were proud of it and wanted to share it, and that's certainly what my husband wanted to do. We deserve to give the land a legacy of protection.
You know, you look across this meadow and the subtlety and the brilliance of these wildflowers makes you realize why people are beginning to think differently about their front yards, for instance, and why not make them a wildflower meadow?
That's right. It could be a home for all sorts of important insects and birds and creatures, so there's a lot you can do.
To keep this beautiful open space just as it is a gift, because people can see nature as nature's meant to be. And I think that improves their lives.
I hope so. We certainly need more trees, more flowers, more grass, more place for children. And I think for me, I want other people to enjoy a spring like I've enjoyed it. And I hope that they learn from it like I've learned from it.
Well, thank you for allowing us to be here and continuing to be an inspiration for not only me, but for everyone who recognizes what you've done with this beautiful place and continues to do and will continue to do with the legacy.
And I'm proud of what people all over Texas and Arkansas and the world, that they really know that open spaces, beauty, quality, must be protected for every citizen in your state, my state, our nation.
So why not try growing a few native wildflowers yourself? It can make your garden very beautiful, and just think about what you're going to do to conserve the plant as well as support some of those beneficial insects. And another thing to think about is be conscious of your own legacy. Conserve nature and its beauty right at home.